Gun Shalom Akim. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of great Millstone who teach and rule well, and Shalom to the sincere Akims furnish truth and sincerity. Shalom. In this video, I want to talk about being balanced, because as of right now, in my life, I'm not really that balanced because of certain changes that occurred in my life. And one of the changes is, that I changed my job. So prior to that, I just worked shifts during the day, from 8 o'clock in the morning to 6 o'clock in the evening, with one day off during the week, throughout the middle of the week, weekends off as well, but, and right now I'm working shifts, which those shifts take place between either 6 o'clock in the morning to 3 o'clock in the afternoon, or 3 o'clock in the afternoon to 6 o'clock in the evening, or in the night. And because of those changes, my whole routine that I used to have is pretty much, changed. This means that I'm out of balance and that I need to find a new balance in my life. And finding the right balance is something that I've always been struggling with. So that's something that I took with me, the truth. But the truth really showed me the mirror concerning what I'm doing. As some people might know, I do MMA, or at least I do the fundamentals that come with MMA, BGG, and grappling. And due to the changes, in my schedule right now, due to work, I'm able to do MMA here and there as well. But prior to coming into the truth, before realizing that, the carnal things, preparing yourself carnally is not gonna lead to your salvation. I was focused on the carnal part. I was preparing myself with archery, with MMA, because I seen what happened in the world. So I really wanted to focus on that and improving myself on a carnal level. So what happened with my balance? My balance basically shifted to one side, preparing myself with MMA, going to the gym 5 days a week, living for MMA, doing all these things. So I was giving myself 100% for that, but I basically, I would say that I didn't spend much time to anything else, which that means I was way out of balance, you see. But now coming in the truth, you realize that you need to have a certain balance to run this race, because otherwise you're not going to endure until the end. You're going to get exhausted, because if you go too much in the scriptures, you're going to get mentally exhausted. If you go to the gym too much, your body's is going to get physically exhausted. So to establish that perfect balance, or at least try to establish the perfect balance, it's very important for us to be able to have all those elements in our life, being able to walk on the tight rope that we're walking, without falling to the right or without falling to the left. Having all those things under control is very important for us to run this race, So prior to the changes that I had in my job, I just came home, cooked, ate, relaxed for a little bit, watched a video, from one of the brothers or the elder apostles, then I cleaned my dishes, then I went into the scriptures. Sometimes, I skip the day of doing that because of the balance, because then you feel like, this time I really want to watch a movie or watch a series, or, do something else that might not be directly related to the scriptures, but it has benefits towards it. Reading a book about history, or reading a book about the New World Order, things like that. A little bit more time for yourself. But right now, when I get home from work, it's basically it's basically 30 minutes past midnight, or 1:45 in the middle of the night. then I go to bed, and then you really want to be productive in the morning. Like you want to, set your alarm clock at 8 o'clock so that you have, around, 4 hours left to be beneficial. Meaning you wanna go into the scriptures, you wanna work out, you need to cook, you need to take a shower. So these are things that that need to be adjusted in my life right now. You want to do all these things, and they need to be in a perfect balance. Well, first and foremost, you need to set your priorities concerning that. What are the priorities in your life? Well, we all need to work in order to sustain ourselves. That means that, on a carnal level, work is priority number one. Of course, you need to have Bahasham, Yahawashi always, in the first place, on the spiritual level, and when you have done the work, on a carnal level, you go to your job, also you come home, certain things need to be fixed, your clothing, the dishes, your food needs to be prepared. So that's time that, gets deducted from the time that you have left, that you are able to spend on the scriptures or on yourself, So those are the first priorities that you need to set for yourself. That's the job, and that the things in the house are fixed. So then you have time to go into the scriptures. Then you have time to make the videos, which, we're commanded to make at least 3 videos a week, and if possible, a video a day. That doesn't mean that the videos have to be 30 minutes long, but it can be quick hits concerning, something prophetic that's going on, something that you see in Australia happening, or something that you see between China and America happening. It don't have to be long videos, but it can either be short videos too. So the decree is out there to make at least 3 videos a week. So that's also something that, we need to think about with the balance that we try to establish during the week. For instance, like I said, with the changes that I have to go through right now, this is going to be my second video this week. And I still need to make one more video today to have those 3 videos. But this week I was struggling with the balance. What am I gonna do? Then you're gonna be like, not really procrastinating, but you're gonna be moving around in the house like, what do I need to do now? Because you don't have that balance, that routine for yourself. Like, what am I gonna do on the days that I have a morning shift? What am I gonna do on the days that I have the evening shift? So you really need to set a routine for yourself that you're able to deal with for a long period of time. And during the time that you have that routine established, other things may come in your life too that you need to incorporate within your routine. So certain other changes need to be made too. But like we see at the rock, we see on the right, we see that there are 2 big boulders. We see on the left there are 3 smaller boulders. Which everything that comes in your life, it needs to be set in a certain position so that the balance can be there. So a while ago, while I was struggling with the balance, one of the brothers, he sat down with me, and he really, took the time to say, okay, first and foremost, priority is the job. You need to sustain yourself. You need to get the things fixed in the house. If anything happens with the brothers, they call you. You need to go there. You need to be there for the brothers too. The brothers are, more important than the biological family that we have. Because what did Yahawashi say? And that doesn't mean that if something happens with your mom, you should leave her. But on a spiritual sense, the family that we have, are those that are, doing the will of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahawashi. So if anything happens, we need to be able to react towards them, towards the brothers that are in this truth, And of course, you might have your children, you might have your parents that you cool with, but they all need to be set in a certain priority. First those things need to be done, and then you have time for the rest. You see. So these are all things that you need to look at. You might have to sit down, write them down. It's something that I might benefit from. So that I have a certain plan in my mind. Of course, everybody has a plan until you get hit. So certain things might happen and you need to adjust. Sometimes I have the plan to make a video, but the brothers ask me like, hey, you're gonna come chill, you're gonna come to the city, we're gonna chill, just relax, eat, drink something. Those are things that, you need to also adapt to and make those changes for. Because that's also very important, man. Breaking bread with the brothers. So this is the word adapt, because that's something that I need to be doing right now. I need to adapt to the changes that were made in my life, with the changing of the job. So it says adapt, early 15th century, implied in adapted to fit something for some purpose. Adjust, fit to join, from aptus fitted, intransitive meaning to undergo modification as to fit new circumstances. The new circumstances that I'm dealing with is the shifts. So now I need to modify the things in my life to fit those new circumstances. That I'm able to make 3 videos a week, that I'm able to study, that I'm able to read. One of the things that I do myself is when I'm at the job doing the break, that's when I read. If the spirit hits me, very hard, then I make a video at the job. Go sit in my car, put the phone on and just press play and make the video. When it's Shabbat, you just, as long as possible, you try to stay at home, do as many spiritual things as you need to be doing before you go to the job, So that's the modifications that you need to make. Look at what time you have, how you need to spend it. Make sure that, you got your spiritual things, your carnal things, because they need to be in balance too. Take time for yourself to just watch a movie. Take time for yourself to play games. Take time for yourself to walk the dog, to the park and just be there for a couple of hours. Take time for yourself, because being in this truth, we're being faced with a lot of hardship. It's also time, there's also time needed for us to really just relax, and let our mind and body, relax, man. Because it's very important that we are able to endure into the end. That's not going to be made possible, if you don't have the right balance in your life. Because a balance means that everything is done accordingly, without anything of those things in your life having to suffer because of something else. If I decide to go training 5 times a week, I'm not gonna have enough time to go into the scriptures. You see, if I decide to study 5 days a week for 3 hours every day, I don't have enough time to go to the gym. You see, so something is gonna suffer. But having the right balance means that you are gonna be able to have all those things, in such a way that you're able to do all those things without anything suffering. Because if I train too much and I'm able to make 2 videos a week, then I need to decide what's more important. Is making the videos and do the work for Bahasham Yahawashi more important than, training that extra day? Or am I able to train less and still have the balance while doing the work for Bahasham Yahawashi? Those are things that we need to be looking at and make those changes, man. Adapt to the circumstances and make those modifications to fit those new circumstances as well. You see? So This is Proverbs chapter 11 verse 1. A false balance is abomination to the Lord Yahawah, but a just weight is his delight. First and foremost, this is speaking about an actual balance that you put weights on, for measurements. But on a spiritual level, we're able to apply this to our life. False balance is abomination to the Lord Yahawah. The Most High doesn't like it when, we're not in balance, when we don't have everything under control in our life. When something is suffering. To give a little bit personal testimony, because I wanted to spend so much time in the scriptures, I decided to not take the time and effort to really prepare and cook meals for myself, because I wanted to be so diligent into the scriptures that the cooking that I actually had to do for myself to take care of myself, was lacking because of that. So I decided to eat, very easy meals, which that was not a good balance, because then I suffered because of that. And if I suffer because of that, then eventually truth's gonna suffer because of that as well, So that false balance, the Most High, He don't like that. But He likes it when the balance in our life is correct and right. That's what He likes. You see. So yeah, that was a little bit of information concerning myself as well. Something that I was struggling with, something that other people might be struggling with, and to give a little bit of tips and tricks, it's for some people it might be, because everybody is different. Some people, they're able to move with the Spirit, just go from day to day. Other people, they might need a certain agenda, So if you're someone that likes to work with agendas and certain tasks that need to be done, so you're able to see it. Okay, today I'm going to do this. Today I'm going to do that. Today I'm going to do this and that. If you're able to do all those things while working with a certain agenda, then that's something that works for you. Then apply that in your life. If you're not able to work with such thing, don't do it. You need to find a way for yourself to be balanced in your life. So if you say, hey, Monday I'm gonna train, but then I'm just gonna watch a video from the other apostles and read, but the next day you're gonna decide not to train, but you're able to study and make a video and read. Hey, doesn't mean that you're doing bad because you didn't watch a video the other day. No, man, that's the balance. You need to be able to do all these things in your life at the same time. But there's not much more information that I'm able to to give concerning finding the right balance. It's just something that you need to find for yourself, because everybody has a different balance. Some people are able to handle more, and still give 100% towards it without anything suffering in their life. Other people have more difficulty with trying to find that balance. So yeah, with that, I hope that this lesson was edifying, and I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash. The honors to the other apostles of great Millstone who teach and rule well, and shalom to the sincere Akiams, burnish truth and sincerity. Shalom.